My calendar just became the most important battlefield of my life, and the enemy is availability. Suddenly, every weekend for the next year feels like a precious, limited resource I must fiercely guard. Is it just me, or does choosing a single day feel like deciding the fate of the entire universe right now? The pressure is mounting. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded and everyone's watching. My brain is currently a chaotic symphony of venue capacities, caterer schedules, and distant relatives' travel plans. I just sent out a feeler email to the potential venue, and now I'm refreshing my inbox every 3 seconds. This whole date picking process is way more intense than any exam I've ever taken. The stakes are just higher. Part of me wants to elope to Vegas right now just to escape this logistical puzzle. Every time someone asks, "So, when's the big day?" I feel a tiny bead of sweat form on my forehead. I thought saying yes was the hard part, but apparently I was wildly, hilariously wrong. My phone is buzzing with well-intentioned but slightly overwhelming advice from everyone I know. The sheer number of Saturdays in a year suddenly feels insultingly small. I'm starting to understand why people have multi-year engagements. Maybe they just gave up on the calendar. Right now, my ideal date is just a date that works for everyone remotely important. Is that too much to ask? I just had a vivid daydream about our wedding day, and now the pressure to make it a reality feels even stronger. The thought of sending out save the dates feels both incredibly exciting and terrifyingly final. I'm pretty sure I've looked at every single month of the year at least 5 times today. Is it a red flag if the perfect date falls on a Tuesday in November? Asking for a friend. It's me. My partner and I are having surprisingly intense debates about seemingly minor details, like whether early or late spring is better. I'm starting to think finding a unicorn would be easier than finding a free Saturday in October. This whole process is a true test of our teamwork. So far, we're mostly just stressed together. I just saw a meme about wedding planning stress, and it resonated with me on a deeply personal level. The weight of expectation from family and friends is starting to feel like a physical burden. I secretly hope our dream venue has a last-minute cancellation on a perfect date. Manifesting. Right now, my brain is 90% wedding date logistics and 10% everything else I should probably be doing. I'm trying to balance my ideal vision with the cold, hard reality of availability and budget. The phrase, "it'll all work out," is currently my mantra, even though I don't fully believe it yet. I just spent an hour comparing different shades of white for the invitations, and now I feel like I'm spiraling. This whole experience is making me realize how many other people have important events happening all the time. I'm starting to develop a complex spreadsheet to track everyone's availability, send help, and maybe some wine. The pressure to pick a date that is meaningful is adding another layer of complexity to this already intricate puzzle. Part of me just wants to close my eyes and point at a date on the calendar and be done with it. I'm simultaneously overthinking every single potential date and also feeling like I'm not thinking about it enough. The fear of picking a date that clashes with another important event is keeping me up at night. I just had a conversation with my future in-laws about potential dates, and it was an experience. The internet is both a blessing and a curse when it comes to wedding planning advice. So much information. I'm trying to stay excited about getting married amidst all the logistical chaos, but it's a challenge some days. The concept of wedding season suddenly feels very, very real and very, very competitive. I'm starting to understand why some people opt for weekday weddings or unconventional times. The mental load of keeping track of everyone's preferences and schedules is surprisingly exhausting. I just found a potential date that might actually work, and now I'm almost afraid to get my hopes up. This whole process is a roller coaster of excitement, stress, and moments of utter bewilderment. I'm trying to remember that the most important thing is getting married to the person I love, regardless of the specific date. But also, I really want a nice Saturday in the spring with good weather. Is that too much to ask again? The thought of finally having a set date and being able to move on to other planning aspects is incredibly appealing right now. I'm starting to dream in calendar grids and color-coded availability charts. The pressure to make this the perfect day feels immense, and it all starts with picking the perfect date. I'm trying to involve my partner in the decision-making process, but sometimes I feel like I'm the one carrying the bulk of the mental load.